იუძე იყო და ბუგა მარკეტინგი გამეცდა. Am știut că am fost efectiv să avem acolo. Și de nou, ცენტრში ხო? ეს ცენტრში. არა, გამო. აწი შენის თვალების სიმაღლეზე. არა, რესპონდენტის სიმაღლეზე? არა, ეგრე, ამ საერთოდ შეხედე. ფაქტობრივად კი ეგრე. რესპონდენტის მე თუ ვკითხავ ცოტა მაგა. აწი მაშინ ბუგა ბაჭკა. კამერა უცხო მაგა. უნდა მაგა. მაგიდა იცი რა, კი. შეიძლება თქვა მაგიდა, არა, შეიძლება თქვა. აკითხა რა ვიცი ბუგა. აბა ეხლა ნახე. მოჭა ხო? Mai დავინახო მე. მე დავინახო. აი ხომ დაიწყო. მაგრამ უმეტესად აქეთ რო იყუროთ უკეთესი. არ იყო თვითონ მე აი ხა შეხედე როგორ ვიყურები თვალები რა იყო. ხო, ასე მეც ვიყურე. კარგია. ხო და ამტო წელზე დახოდა აქეთ და ხო, აქეთ რო იდროს ადრე. აი ეკრანი რო აქ მე გადასარევი. This is the so it goes. Oh. Machine ar çedalda. Oh. Ay, მიხედავთ ხოლმე. ეცანი კონტროლი გადმოვიტანოთ წი. ტიპოსი რა შემოგვისწრებს. ეს კაბელი წავს. მათი ტექნოლოგიის ვაი კადშიო. არა. Abi ya. Ara maşvak ikneva.
Tato, can you hear me? Tato. Oh, I have to fix the camera. Oh, can you hear me? I have to do mic. No mic. Camera is green. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Should I do sound? Sound.
Huh? Edgar, I can't see you, but
Yes.
היה פאוריה כבודה, חו?
רגע, הופה. לב, נראה לי שזה השליח. לב, בוא רגע.
კარგია. ხო, რაც ახლოს იქნება აქეთ? აბა? შალომ, ედგარ. შალომ, ედგარ. კაი, კი, რაც უფრო აქეთ იქნება, უკეთესია, იმიტომ რომ ადუდად ხო გავხ. ჰა? ხო, ხო, ასე. შალომ, ედგარ. უი, გადასάνε. უი, ასე რა კაია. ანუ მე დავინახავ თუ არა? დავინახავ ედგარ?
იმას დაინახავ თან,
ძალიან კარგი. Bravo. აი, გაწყდა საერთოდ.
კუდა, როცა ეკნოდადე კომპიუტერში და ყარში. ბაც
תגיד, לב המזגן סגור? מה? המצלמה פתוחה בזו? המצלמה פתוחה, נסגור את הדלת, ויש לך חומוס. אוקיי. הלו? לא.
კი, არა, ედგარს ვერ ვხედავ. გამოსახულება გამოჩნდა. ჩემ თავს ისინი ვხედავენ? Edgar, I saw you. Is your dog happy? Edgar, can you hear me?
You
Edgar?
can't hear. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't know what I'm. Maybe now? Does it work? No.
კამერა თუ კომპიუტერი?
ანუ რაცა ხო რა.
ხო.
ეს თავისუფლად გავუშვებ და შეიმხრებს რა.
როგორ გადახაროს? Edgar, they say you have to move your not camera but your laptop or computer. You have to move a little bit. You understood? Can you hear me, Edgar? Huh?
Levchik?
არ მიდის ჩემი ხო?
לוי, האוכל על השולחן.
ხო, იმის ხმა ყვის. Edgar, you can hear me. Can you hear me, Edgar? არ ესმის ხო? რატო არ ესმის? ეხლა განსწორა ხო, კომისია? აბა რანაირად წერან რაღაც სხვანაირად იჯდან. ხო. არ ისმის ხო? Edgar, hi Edgar.
ლეპტოპი უნდა დაიგესნა ცოტა უკან, ამასაც ის ცოტა წინ გაწევ და ეკრანი გადმოხაროს ხალხს.
როგორ უთხრა, არ ისმის და
ხო, არა, იცი და თუ დაგელაპარაკებთ. ისინი
და ვინ?
ეს ჩარტავს რაღაცა და მე რაღაცა იქნება. და ვინ ჩარტავს?
ის კარი რატო დახურე? ისა სიცხე იქნება, არა? ხმარ ვარ შემო. იქ არავინ არ არის. მართლა? ზემოთ სასტუმროა. Edgar?
Can you hear me now? No.
Yeah.
No.
I do, yeah.
Yes? You
Yes,
can
yes.
hear me? That too. Great.
Yes.
I can't
How
hear
are
you, but
you?
you can hear me. Okay, great.
Edgar, how are you? Are you at home now? ეხლა ისევ აღარ ესმის. აი რაღაც მომენტი ესმის. კი, თქვა რომ ესმის.
ისევ ახალი ლინკი ფოლოუ. ახალი ლინკი ფოლოუ.
ანუ მე მესმის ედგარის ხმა, იმის მას არ ესმის ჩემი ხმა, ხო? I can hear you, Edgar.
ხოდა ჩვენ ვერ ვაგებინეთ, იმის ხმა შემოდის ჩვენ ჩმა. იბრამე ხორა ბაჭი ახლა. დაუყავში ისინი როგორი? როდა იყოს ლაპარაკი? მაგრამ ის თუ ვერ გაიგებს შენ რა აზრია ხო? დათოსმას. ერთმანეთს მომეერახა. ოღონდ გავასწორე.
Edgar?
ტელეფონზე ანიშნე, რომ იმას წერე SMS-ს, რომ მიხვდეს რომ წაიგოს.
რა წაიგეთ?
გოგოები წერენ იმას, რომ ხმა ის პრობლემაა და
Okay, so მაგრამ ჩემი ხმა ესმის?
ტელეფონი.
Edgar, you have to read it. You understand? Amikhta. Okay.
לב, אני צריך את העזרה שלך? בוא רגע, אני צריך את העזרה שלך? אני צריך את האוזניות שלך. לב, בדחיפות. קח אותם בדחיפות.
Masho Samadashvili sadbzanდება. Masho, როგორ ბრძანდები? Masho, აჰა, წიგს დაგანახებ მაშინ, აბა რა ვქნა. იქ სარკისებურია უგოღმა. Masho, ჩემი ხმა გესმის და ედგარს არ ესმის. Just a perfect day.
Can you? I bet. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Maybe I can hear you. Hey, I can hear you, Tato. I can hear you.
Yeah.
American.
How are you, Edgar?
Great, but you know that this is a miracle because now my son will not play the video game for a full hour
because he has to give me his.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. We are so sorry.
No. It's good.
Maybe,
No, I think
maybe
it's
it's
good.
good.
Good
Maybe
thing.
it's good for health. Yeah, Edgar. Maybe
You
it's
see
good,
that? Oh,
better for
you
health.
see. Even when you're in Tbilisi, you're educating my child. This is when you have
Sorry.
such charisma, you affect the world, even when you're not there.
Oh, wait. Edgar, wait. There.
Yes.
Cool. So, oh, Edgar, listen. You have to
Yes.
move your computer or laptop a little bit far from you, okay?
Far from me. Okay, I do it like this. Oh,
From
and then
a little bit far from you, because we see only your face, only your head. This is a
ah,
brilliant head, but
now,
we need
now I can
your body
dance.
also. You have magic body, and we have to see your magic body also. Good. Elit, აი როგორ ქნათ ახლა? რა უთხრა? ესე გადმოხაროს? Yeah, like this is good. Is good. არ კაია ახლა. Don't start both. Of course. We totally agree with you. Okay, ესე? კიდე? ხო, ეხლა მე ერთი წამი თქვენ გთხოვენ ახლა. Okay, good. Edgar, how are you?
Oh, very, very
So,
well.
are you at
When I see
home?
you, I always get better.
Me too. I'm so happy to see you again. So, at
You,
home, you are at home now?
yes, in Tel Aviv.
Yeah. ჩემი რა უნდა ვქნათ? Okay, a little bit. We need 2 or 3 minutes. პირიქით ხარ რა?
I bring a glass of water and a
Photo,
big
of course.
joint and some
Yeah.
heroin and some vodka. No, just water. I
No,
come in a minute.
no. Wine. Only wine. Only wine, Edgar.
I don't have any wine. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared.
So many bottles of best Georgian wine are waiting for you in Georgia,
Oh,
Edgar.
I wish I could come. That every time I take a taxi and the driver says he's from Georgia, I ask, "Do you know
Yeah.
Dato?" And they all know you.
Yeah.
All of them know you, and they all have very strong opinion. They say he should go to politics. He doesn't write
Yeah.
enough. He's lazy. He
You
should write
know,
more. Really,
Edgar,
all the
every
time.
time, yeah, we next elections we have in Georgia in October. So every time we have elections, the parties and groups, political groups, they really ask me to be a member of the parliament, the fucking parliament. But of course, I don't agree with them. You know why? It's
Yeah,
so you
it's
don't
not your
need
style. It's
explanation.
not
You
your
know why?
style.
Yes, of course.
I
So
think,
can we?
I don't think you should go to parliament. I think you should become a king. It's more simple. You'll be a king, you'll be a good king, I'm sure. Dato the first.
King, okay. Maybe Queen?
Yeah, this will be more
Is
pluralistic.
it very hot now in Tel Aviv?
Yeah, warm. Yeah, very warm. And also, the corona
Very.
is crazy. It's the worst we had. We have about 1,500 each day new patients in corona.
Really? Okay, so I think we'll talk about it also, not only about literature and
Okay.
culture and history and politics, also about coronavirus.
And sex and
So
cooking.
we need Of course. Sex, health, drugs, and rock and roll. Just a perfect day. But today's the weather is better today in Georgia, in Tbilisi. It's not very hot. That's okay. About
Here
30
it's about,
degrees, no more.
it's in Tel Aviv, it's about 30 degrees, 29, 30, but very humid. It's like 70% humidity.
Ah, you mean, yeah, that's right. That's
You
right. I
sweat a
remember,
lot.
yeah. So can you move also your computer a little bit,
Like this. Because the
like
computer
this?
is...
Okay, okay. So maybe. Vera daubneldi tu. Vera tu daubneldi. Ah, şuki gamurtet. Egre jobia. Ha?
שירה, בואי תגידי שלום לדאטו.
Shira is here. Shira, hi Shira.
הוא קורא לך, הוא אומר בואי. You know that
Shira? Is she very
our...
beautiful?
Oh,
Hey, Tato!
Shira, hi Shira.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
gonna-
You are so
look the
beautiful
same.
as
Thank
always,
you!
Shira.
רגע, איך אני צריכה, לאן אני צריכה? כאן.
Nice to meet you.
אוקיי. I
So,
try to
Shira,
find position.
I'm so
Yeah. I'm happy to see
I'm
you.
so happy.
You look the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what did you say? So that the people are asking
You
something.
look the same. You look the
Thank
same
you.
as we met you at Iowa.
Shira, is it a good joke?
Yeah, no. It's not a joke at
I'm
all.
very young.
I see.
Shira, I'm very young, just 21. 21 or
21.
22, no more.
I'm 4.
You look like I met you in Iowa City.
Yeah.
Exactly. Edgar, you are so lucky.
You're so lucky, הוא אומר לך. תיקח את זה.
Lucky
ביי
Edgar.
ביי. ביי, דאטו.
Bye bye, Shira. See you soon in Georgia. You have to come with Edgar to Georgia.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'm very curious, and
Yeah,
and we will meet. We'll come. Yeah.
I think there are flights. No, I'm wrong. I don't know. I have to check it. But
But maybe in the future. We hope.
there are no more flights.
No.
But will be soon. So you have
Yes.
to come with
Yes.
Edgar. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I promise. Bye bye.
So many. Bye bye, Shira. Thank you. Thanks for everything you have done for literature. And so on. Jellyfish? What was the title of your movie? That Jellyfish was? Edgar. I can't hear. Edgar is Khmadau. I can't hear you. Edgar is Khmadau. I can't hear you.
Okay, I have to check.
Now, yeah, it's okay now.
It's okay now? Okay.
Edgar, it's okay now? So now it's good. So the screen of your you have to move the screen of your computer or his laptop, I don't know, a little bit.
Like this?
Like this, yeah. Now take a seat. I say. Okay. So there is a much space.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, you left. Oh, now it's okay. Oh, brilliant. It's good now. Okay. Move to the right. Okay, good, very good. No, 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 no more, no more, no more. You disappeared, Edgar.
Too much.
Wait. Yeah, good. Very good. Now is very good. Edgar, now is very good. Now we are ready. So, oh, right. Okay, Edgar. So are we ready?
Yeah.
შეიძლება დავიწყოთ. So, Edgar, I'm very happy we are together. Thanks. ხო.
უგასწავლო კაია. 10 წამი გააკეთე თავზე და დაიწყე.
10.
მე ნახევარსაათში განიშნეთ რომ ნახევარი საათი გავიდა, მე რაც შემოდი რომ
ნახევარსაათში რომ დავამთავროთ?
დაამთავრა, აი, ნახევარი საათი და მე შემოჭამებელი.
ხო, კაი. კაი. 10 ვიწყებ 9 8 So არ დავიწყო? არ დავიწყო? დედა რატანჯო? It's not easy, Edgar.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we are a Georgian and Israeli astronaut being launched to space.
Here we are, of course. Hi, Edgar. So I'm very happy, really very happy to see you again. Thanks to this wonderful project. Here and Now is the name of the title of the project by TBC Bank. And because of this project, so we are together. We met each other again. And again, we have a chance to talk about literature, culture, everything, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And about everything you prefer to talk. You know, the situation is a little bit different in Georgia than in other countries. Of course, if we say here and now, of course, we mean the situation, strange situation, really strange in the world, everywhere, almost everywhere. But in Georgia, maybe you don't know, maybe you know, in Georgia, something very strange is happening because the cases of coronavirus, infected cases, is very low. Even in neighbor countries is something horrible what's happening there, but not in Georgia. So we don't know why it happens. We don't know how to explain it, but I have my own version, you know, my explanation, Edgar. I think this is a joke, of course, but you know, in every joke there is a piece of truth, you know. I think that because of Georgian wine, you know, Krevri, you remember, you have been to Georgia, so
Of
you know
course,
what does it mean.
yeah.
Krevri is
Yeah.
of course, because of Krevri wine, so we are drinking during so many centuries, so we have something what defends us from the coronavirus, maybe. I don't know.
Or it
But-
could be that you were screwed so many years when you were in the Soviet Union that God says,
Yeah.
okay, the Georgian people suffered enough, you know, let's not throw also Corona on them. Maybe.
Yeah, good. And what's about the situation in Israel? So what's happening now? Because
Well,
I remember from the childhood that the best medicine exists in Israel. I remember from my parents. So what's happening now?
so basically, in the beginning, we didn't have many cases, and our prime minister all the time says we are so good, we are so lucky. But now we begin to have a very, very strong and difficult wave. We have about more than 1,000 new people infected every day, and people are a little bit scared, because of course, we cannot afford another lockdown, because we had a lockdown and now the economy is really going down, and there is a feeling of confusion and a little bit stress, fear. uh, for me, it's different, because being an artist, all the time I'm confused and afraid, but for other people, it's really to wake up in the morning, not to know if you can send your child to school or if you can go to work. It's a very a big existential challenge.
Yeah, does it change many things in Israel? I mean, uh, in everyday life, of course, and in literature, for example, or as I remember, you have so many meetings with your readers. So all of them,
Yeah,
I think, they are cancelled. So you
all of
write and
them. Yeah.
you do. Yeah, it's very usual for you to travel everywhere in the world. So as I
But for me,
remember,
I must say, the fact is, like, I stopped traveling, and of course, when it comes to earning your living and everything, it become more difficult. But actually, I've never written as much as I did in the past 3 months, because all the other things are being cancelled, so I have a lot of time to write. Because I'm not like you. I remember you from Iowa. You have a very strong
yeah,
writing discipline. You write many hours every day. But with me, if I
yeah.
travel or if I go somewhere, I don't write. And now when I'm staying in the same place, I can write a lot.
Ah, good. So by the way, I of course I remember everything from the Iowa city. So maybe we know this French when and where did it start. But for our readers, maybe it's unknown that we met about 20 years ago. Also, was a very strange time. Yeah, when it happened in New York City, when New York City was attacked. Uh, it was September, yeah,
September
11th
11,
of
yeah.
September of 2001. And we were there. There was a special project for writers. So, and we spent about 100 days in Iowa City. So it's somewhere in the middle. But exactly that time it happened. Yeah. And I remember then we went to New York City, and I remember the city absolutely empty, New York City. And when I was watching TV just 3 months ago, when it started, the coronavirus in New York City, I remember it was, I was thinking about that experience I had from that New York City. Something, it was not the similar, but it was something like this. Yeah. And uh, you mentioned Edgar. You mentioned the Soviet Union, and you know that the Georgia in 20th century was the part of the Soviet Union. So there were 15 republics, and Georgia was one of them. And everywhere in the world now they talk about isolation, about new rules, about the new situation. But for me, as you said about the writing, for me it also one more strange thing happened that for me uh, it the isolation is not and was not a new one. You understand? Because I remember from my Soviet childhood that my childhood, for example, I spent in a isolation. So, for example, I didn't know anything about the other world, the rest of the world, because everything from not from the Soviet Union was forbidden or was so far that even we sometimes didn't have information. So now the world is very open. Now the world is different, and we are here. And now we can be together. It's strange. You are in your country. I'm in my homeland, but I feel we are together. So it's different world. 100 years ago, there was so-called Spanish flu, but it's different story. You understand what I mean? Yeah, we are at home.
Yeah.
Maybe more time for writing, maybe for kids, but we before the corona, I was thinking would have more time for kids, but they don't have dialogues with us, with the parents. We lost them as members of the same families. So what's about you? You have one wonderful laugh, and
Yeah.
you wrote a collection of non-fiction stories. I remember how many times you mentioned your son. So his function and he in your life, in your literature and in your life. Can you tell me? I have only daughters,
Yes. Yeah.
and
I think daughters,
think about
it's
the
more complicated than
yeah.
boys. I think boys are very, very simple. They are competitive. They like to compete. They like to burn out energy, and they have this kind of infinite curiosity. But there is something very, 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 very simple. And actually, in this time of the virus, we spend much more time together because school got cancelled. Most of my I'm a professor in university, but I teach through Zoom, so we spend a lot of time together, and it's a nice time. We see all time movies, from the 80s. For my son, it's like seeing science fiction. I see with him Die Hard, and instead of being impressed that Bruce Willis kills all the bad guys, he's impressed that they let him smoke on an airplane, or that he speaks in a phone booth, or that the computers look so big and nobody has a iPhone. So it's a nice experience for us. So I can show him all the movies that I liked when I was younger, and he can make fun of them and say that the special effects are really bad, and that he doesn't like them. But it's a good dynamic.
Yeah, very good, Edgar. I'm interesting. Everything is interesting. Connected with you. Everything for me. But of course, first of all, your literature, your art, your stories, and in the beginning, how did I discover you as a writer? Because of your fiction stories and very short stories. I was crazy. I thought it was. I'm sorry because I'm talking about it now, but it was a different literature for me. How did I discover your stories? But then I read your non-fiction collection, The Seven Good Years. Yeah, and you are author of also movie scripts, screenplays. You wrote for kids also, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But
Yes.
yeah, also the novel you wrote for a lot of things, not only
Yeah.
stories, not only. So how do you feel it? So which is more comfortable for you, or depends to the situation, or I don't know. So how it
No, it's
how it happened, like.
writing fiction. Writing short story is the most easy. It's the easiest thing for me. But I actually like to step out of my comfort zone. And if, let's say, I do a theater play or a screenplay, or if I do a children book or a graphic novel or write the lyrics for a song, I feel that every time I do it, I learn something else about storytelling. So, for example, if I write lyrics for a song, I write in meter. I can use meter in my short stories. If I write a theater play, I write monologues and dialogues. I can use more monologues and dialogues in my story. If I write a screenplay, I can learn a lot about the mise en scène, how people are positioned in a room, and it will also be relevant for my work. So for me, like sometimes we go on vacation overseas. For me, my home is the short story, but I can go for a vacation to write a movie, or for a vacation to write a theater. and learn something there that I can take back home with me when I write my next short story.
So very good. But I remember from I don't remember the title of the story, but I remember your phrase from that story that maybe that's a title that flight meditation. That's
Yeah,
the title it was.
that,
But
that's the title.
where you are talking about the flights and your experience and I remember so as I know you 20 years, yeah, you are traveling and traveling. So you said that now maybe you have more time for writing, but maybe you're losing something very important. That's my question. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
Because
Well,
you
I think that life is like a menu, because let's say when Dato was young, he looked at the menu, he said, I can write a book, I can join the secret police force, I can become a chef, I can become a dental surgeon, and then you went and you become a writer. And I think that in life, there are so many things we can do, but we always choose one thing. So, of course, when I sit here and write, I miss traveling. But when I travel, I miss writing. And when I'm without
yeah.
my wife, I miss her. When I'm with my wife, I want her to go. This is the nature of people. And
Good,
and,
very good.
and and I think that in this essence,
Lucky
I think
Chira.
that the moment we are in a situation, I think the idea is to make the most of it. Because my last project, I did a video dance. And how did I do a video dance? I go in the street, I meet a very good choreographer. She says to me, I should do a project for the opera, but because of Corona, it's cancelled. I said to her, I was supposed to go in France, but because of Corona, it's cancelled. Instead of wasting our time, let's do something together. I bring a camera, you bring a dancer, I write a story, I bring the furniture from my dead mother's apartment, and we do something together. And I think that there's always a way for us to be active. And there's always a way for us to do something that interests us and to take some kind of initiative. So I could sit here and say, oh, I want to be in New York, I want to be in Paris, but I can't be there. So I look around me and I try to make the best from what I can.
Edgar, don't lose that brilliant chance. 5 years ago, one young lady in Georgia, she performed on a stage my book based on my book this year, and that's why. So I met so beautiful, so wonderful ballet dancers in Georgia. So when you come next time, I can we can drink together. So
Or
many bottles of
do a dance together. We can do a dance.
yeah.
For a writer, this
No,
this was my great this was my greatest challenge, because all my work is based on words and dialogue. And suddenly to work with dancers and to have to express yourself without words, it was a big challenge.
yeah,
And I think that when I come to write down my next short story, the things that I learned from storytelling in dancing, I can implement them in a story too, because I can describe
yeah,
differently the ways that people move and the ways that people move in space, and it could be another tool in my toolbox to tell a story. Now I can also use
yeah,
movement.
yeah. Uh, Edgar, I mentioned Georgia, but you have to know. Maybe you know that. I remember also from your story. How did you find, or how can you find, or how do you find almost everywhere in other countries anti-Semitism? Examples of anti-Semitism, and maybe you know that we are really good. So there was a phrase, uh, if you are born, from your story, if you are born in Israel, the history of Europe is the history of pogroms and persecutions, and there is an exception, Georgian exception. We did not have
Of
the same
course.
experience. We didn't have the same tragical past. We really had really very good relation with the with the people they came from Israel to Georgia about 27 centuries ago. Maybe you know that story.
Yeah, I know, of
It's
course,
strange, but
of course.
everywhere. For example, Georgia was part of Russian Empire, and everywhere, especially in Russia, there were so many pogroms, so many uh, against the Jew nation, almost everywhere, but not in Georgia. So it's strange, but
I
we are
know.
very proud that it did not happen in Georgia. You have to know.
Yeah, no, of course I know that. And again, I must say that, if you ask me what is my favorite city in the world, I will not say Tbilisi, I'm sorry. But if you ask me
Yeah.
who are my favorite people outside of Israel, I would say Georgian people. Because really,
Thank
I
you very
think
much.
that I think that there is something. First of all, you were the first Georgian person I met, so it gave me a good first impression. But I really think that there is something about Georgian people that they're always so warm and not pretentious, and see people,
Yeah.
not just conviction and stuff. I think I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about Georgian politics because I don't want
Yeah.
to ruin your mood, you know. But as
Why
people,
not?
I've
Why
yet.
not? Welcome anytime. Welcome anytime.
No, but I'm saying I've yet to go any place in the world to meet people as nice as the Georgian people and as generous. Really,
Thank you.
it's something that is
Thank you
spectacular
very
and
much.
special.
Thank you very much, Edgar. I'm very happy, but I know that it's true. You are always you can't lie, so that's good explanation. Edgar, what's about the Poland? As I remember, your parents they were born there, or am I
Yeah,
right?
they were born in Poland.
So,
Yeah.
and you are the citizen of Poland also.
Yes, yes. The truth is
So,
that my mother, because she was a Holocaust survivor, she always wanted me to
yeah.
have another citizenship because it's always these things that if
Ah,
there will be a pogrom, I will have some place
ah.
to run
So
to.
you can. Yeah.
But the truth is that that through my writing and being published in Poland, I had a chance to go there many times, and for me it was a sense of closure because my mother left Poland after the Second World War, after anti-Semitic persecution, and to come back to Poland and to meet nice people there and have good experiences there. It was something that was also important for my mother. For her 80th birthday, I went with her to Poland, and she was able to come to this place that for her had to do with the murdering of her parents and her brother, and go there and see real people, nice people, contemporary people, and to make some kind of peace in her soul before dying. So it was very important, this kind of re-achieving the connection with the Polish people.
Yeah, but so it's interesting also for me the difference between readers in Israel, in Poland, or in other countries. So how do they see your characters, for example, from your stories? So sometimes they are very, very strange, absolutely different.
Yeah.
How do they see? If you see the difference, how do they? What kind of questions they have in different countries? You understand? How do they
Yeah, of course, of
understand
course.
what you write?
So I tell you a funny story, but when I published my first book in Mexico, and Mexico, strangely, is one of the countries I'm most popular in. So when I went on a tour in Mexico, and when you finish the reading, they always come and ask for autographs on books. And in Mexico,
Yeah.
every 10 person who come, instead of asking for autograph, wants to give me a hug. And they all hug me.
Yeah.
All the readers hug me. And when
Good.
I speak to when I speak to my publisher, I say to him, this is very special because Mexico is the only place in the world where they hug the writer. And he said to me, no, 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 they don't hug writers, they only hug you. And I said to him, but why? Why do they only hug me?
They,
And he
they,
said, my friend, to be honest, every person who ever read a book of you, the first thought he had in his mind, this poor guy, he should get a hug, you know. So I don't know. So when I go to Mexico, they want to hug me, you know. When I go to, I think for me the biggest difference is between, let's say, Western Europe and the US, where people are very formal and distant and want to ask intelligent questions, and places that are more like Israel or Georgia or Serbia or Croatia or Mexico, where people are not afraid to ask questions and to laugh with you and to cry with you, and it's easier for you to understand what kind of relationship you have with your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and also it's so interesting. Once we, I think it happened when you were last time you were in Tbilisi. By the way, we are at the writer's house, not far from your staying place, not far from the hotel where you stayed the last time you were here. It's the same district, Writer's House. Have you been to this place? I don't remember, but it's really nice with the garden and old building and really nice. And now this is a place for writers, poets, and translators and so on. So next time when you come to Georgia with the Shira also, of course, you can stay here. It's really nice place. So Edgar, and I don't remember. I think, as I remember, we talked about it, but we just mentioned your book. You published together with the Arab author, yeah,
Yeah,
Palestinian author.
Palestinian writers, Samir El Youssef,
It was Gaza
yes.
Blues. Gaza Blues. Yeah,
Gaza Blues, yes.
Gaza.
It was
So tell me
basically,
about the.
yeah. Sorry?
So why I'm so interesting, I'm sorry, because we also have problems in, yeah, you say Georgians are beautiful people. I'm happy to hear it, but we have very many problems, and not only with the Russians. So that's why I'm asking. I can imagine. I remember I could imagine myself or Georgian author with the Russian author, for example, together in the same collection or in the same book, published together. Understand? And what happened? How did they like the idea and this project, this book in Israel? So
Well,
I mean the Jewish opinion and the Palestinian opinion.
so the funny story is basically, the idea behind it was that, let's say, if you meet a Russian or if I meet a Palestinian, we can exchange ideas and arguments, but you'll never know what it feels like to be Russian, and I'll never know what it feels like to be Palestinian. So when you write a story, let's say when I write a first person narrative story about a Israeli, if you read it, you can see the perspective of life that I have. And the idea was that if we take the perspective of a Palestinian and a Israeli and we put it side by side, Palestinians will buy the book to read my story, the Palestinian writer's story, and will read mine. And Israelis will buy the book to read my story and read the Palestinian writers, Samir's stories. But what happened in the end? That this book was published, I think, in 11 countries, but in Israel and in Palestine or in Arab countries, they refused to publish it. So it was really, really strange, because this initiative that wanted to reach Israelis and Palestinians in the end reached German people, Swedish people, Italian people,
Yeah.
but it never reached the Middle East. So in hindsight, it was a great adventure, but a big failure. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah. So it was. So I don't know how to explain it, but somehow somehow when I think about your stories, uh, uh, sometimes I think that you write a lot about death. Am I right? Or
You're right. You're
or
right.
or I see it. like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So and
You look.
and
Yeah.
and, and personally, you are, for me, you are the person full with the life. Understand? And so many times you mention death. You write about the death. What is it? I don't. You understand? So how you explain? As a reader, I know what does it mean for me, because I
Yeah.
also sometimes write about, generally, Edgar, maybe writing is a is a is a way, or is a chance to forget death sometimes, or not to be afraid. You understand?
For
Sometimes
sure. For sure.
when I'm writing, Edgar, death disappears. It really happens. So death does not exist sometimes when I'm writing. Does it happen
But
with
but
you
I,
also?
no, for sure, when I write, it's not only that death doesn't exist. I feel that I don't exist in body. I become just
Yeah.
a thought or an idea or an emotion. But what I wanted to say is that I think that because I love life so much, I write about death. Because let's say if you want to write about love, you will usually write a story about a couple that breaks up or that one of the lover dies, because the best way to write about something is to deal with the absence of this thing. You know, if you have food, you it's difficult for you to write about hunger. Only when you're hungry you really appreciate food. So I think that by writing about death, it's a good way for me to remind myself why I appreciate life.
Yeah. Edgar, we don't have enough time for everything. I would like to talk today, but also, you are, how it happens, So you and Shira, two brilliant artists and authors together in the same family. Is it very difficult, or it's easy? Because, the last time I talked to you, you were shooting movie in France, it was, yeah, as I remember.
Yeah, TV
Yeah.
series.
So
Yeah.
can you tell me? So you live with literature. Yeah, for me, you are the brilliant writer, but at the same time, your head sometimes is busy with the movies also. So how it happens? Especially in the same family. So you and Shira, not couple, but as a partner in art. So you understand?
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good. Shira always says that to do a movie together, to direct a movie together, is like going to couple therapy. Because sometimes when you fight with your wife, you can fight for weeks, not talk to each other and be angry. But when you're on
Yeah,
a movie set, you fight, you have to make peace in 5 minutes because people need you to shoot. So so Shira
yeah,
always says that it's good because it makes us resolve all our problems very quickly. And I think that
yeah,
it's very difficult in general for people, even if you love each other, it's difficult to live together with somebody. But I think it's much easier to make a movie with someone than to live with someone, because when you make a movie, you have a common goal. Both me and Shira, we want to make a movie. When we don't make a movie, we don't have a common goal, because she says, let's clean the apartment, and I say, no, let's go to the beach, and we can argue. But the moment that you collaborate over a project, things become very easy and very focused. You are both going to the same direction. And the truth is that Shira is the best artistic partner I've ever had, because she's brilliant,
yeah.
but she thinks completely the opposite from the ways that I think. And I think that it's good when you have a partner that
Maybe
sees the work of
that's why
art
you
in a
are a good
different
partner.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's really, I think I learn a lot from her when we do project together. And and of course we fight, but we fight and then we make up.
but don't come to Georgia next time without Shira. You
Of
promised.
course,
I
I
promised
know.
you. I remember she
Of
wants
course.
to see Georgia. So Edgar, we don't have, of course, we don't. I'm so sorry. Thanks to this project, Here and Now is the name or title of the project. But because of them, we are together. I think everywhere,
Thanks.
it's strange. As you ask about me, everywhere to everyone, yeah. I do the same, everywhere I meet someone, Jewish reader. I ask about you. It's clear for
I
me,
do the
and
same. I
because
ask all Georgian
I know
about you.
you do the
Well,
same.
I
I know
ask,
you
do
do
you
the
know
same.
Dato? And if they say we don't know Dato, I say you're not really Georgian. You're a KGB spy.
So Edgar, thanks so much. I'm so really happy. I'm
Thank you.
very, very happy. So because in these strange times, Corona times, as kids say, the kids. This is the kids' name of the time, Corona times, and we don't know what will happen tomorrow when it finished. We don't know, but I hope uh, we can use the chance for writing, for example, or thinking. What I like in the beginning, for example, in the beginning, I mean in February, in March, I had time for thinking. I understood that because I was running, I was traveling, I was reading or writing, and did not have time for thinking. And I liked what do you have on your T-shirt? The three words, but so important. Yeah, you can. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's
and I
like
think
Star
that
Wars, Star Wars.
yeah, I understood. It's easy to understand. Yeah, I understood, but I think that not to Star Wars. I think that we need more time for thinking. Maybe coronavirus and this strange time is good time for thinking more, not to have the same problems we have and we had in your country or in my country. Edgar, thanks
Yeah,
so much.
no, but yeah,
You are
and
here and now.
right here, right now. No, and I wanted to
Yeah,
say that that I think in general, when we get up in the morning, most of the time we move through the force of inertia. We go to work, we go to supermarket, we pick the child from school. We do
yeah,
things without choosing. And there is something
yeah.
about this coronavirus that it's like rebooting the computer, and suddenly you get up and you ask yourself, what do I want to do? What do I want to think? And it basically, I think it can be very intimidating to be in a position where you should create your life instead of following what people take you to. So you are right. There is a lesson to be learned for sure.
Yeah, man. Good if maybe best lesson. So Edgar, thanks so much. See you soon
Thank you,
in
Dato.
Georgia with the Shira, of course, and we'll have more time to
I
talk
give
about
you a
everything.
safe.
Right?
I gave you. It's a safe kiss. It's okay.
Ah,
No virus.
Edgar,
Thank you,
I
man.
love you so much. Thanks for everything, everything.
It's mutual.
Bye bye. See you soon.
Bye. Bye, Dato. Oh, oh, oh.
რამდენი გამოვიდა? 40 გითხრეს და გადავაწარბე ძალიან? ხო, ანუ ძალიან. ხო, და 30 წუთის მერე შევეცადე რომ ხო. 40 არ მე მგონი არ გადავაციე, ხო? აი ეგ მითხეს რომ 40 არ გადა. ხო.